GM, we are muted. GM, everyone, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Beautiful, beautiful Friday morning. Hartman currently sleeping, but good luck. Hey, Hartman, thanks so much for coming by. Appreciate it. You've earned your sleep. Caitlin Clark, MVP. GM, happy Friday. Hey, Caitlin Clark for MVP. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. I appreciate you. GM, happy Friday to you as well. I fell asleep in the middle of Thursday Night Football, so I missed the Shanahan masterpiece. However, it does seem like one of the axioms for Survivor that I held true, which is Thursday Night Football division games on the road, or not even on the road. Thursday night divisional games, just beware of it in Survivor. Weird things happen, and we saw a short week where apparently it sounds like Shanahan put on a masterclass and got there. And I think a lot of this is probably the biggest Survivor loss of the year. Maybe more people went down with the Packers Browns game, but this one was pretty big. I know it was a very trendy pick. I know a lot of people getting in. A lot of people don't really look at Survivor till Friday, so they might have survived. But it is that was a big loss for a lot of people. Joel, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Likewise, Jake Vinegar, good morning to you. Greg says, GM Candlelight's Hartman hitting the like in the sleep. What a guy. I mean, my goodness. If Hartman can hit the like in the sleep, all of you certainly can hit the like, hit the sub with two eyes open, or at least one eye open. However many eyes, in case Najee Harris is watching, we have to be, we cannot just make assumptions here. But yeah, good morning to everybody. Based on my Twitter feed, it sounds like Kyron fumbled and people were apoplectic that Corum wasn't getting the ball, but I was still awake for Corum fumbling. So maybe Jarquez Hunter Nation is really the ones that was wronged. Box score watching seems like Corum had a monster game. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I don't like to be out of the loop. I want to be able to talk ball with you guys, but I just have to admit I ran out of the bus was out of gas. The bus was out of gas. But what we're not out of gas for is the BR slate. We're going to hop right on in. I think the biggest news that did not come out of last night was it sounds like Chuba Hubbard is now trending the wrong way. I think I may have seen that he's officially out. So Chuba Hubbard, if we look at Hubbard here, so he is down in the depths of the depths. I don't know how much that has moved in the last couple of days. I know he was pretty much 100% drafted in Dawg Bowls. People were not taking Rico Dowdle. I think now Rico Dowdle is going to slide into that 30s to 40s range. I think he's going to be a popular rankings play. People who had Bucky Irving and he's out. There are a lot of drafts where people had Bucky Irving and then somebody also took Rashad White. So in that instance, I think there's going to be a lot of people filling that in. Depends on how people set their rankings. Of course, you could just end up with a wide receiver. So, oh God. I already see Kevin here. What catastrophe is this? Kevin, this is a BR. So it's not too catastrophic. But good morning to you, Kevin. Kevin, one of the OGs here. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out, Kevin. Joel says Kyron is really good until the fumble crossing the goal line. Gotcha. Yeah, after this, I'm going to try to catch up on the game so that I can see what I missed. GM Steven WC, hey, GM to you, GM to everyone. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Greg VS says, Rico Dowdle going to get me a bunch of second Q dubs. Yeah, that's another big one. I mean, 2Q started. I did that one draft. I don't even know what my team looked like. I did the one draft on stream, but I guess that's live now, right? I guess that's live. We go to best ball, weeks 5 through 8. Eventually, this may or may not load. It's not loading. Nobody cares anyway. All right, let's go back to the draft that we're in. And we're already on the clock. All right, so we're in the 4-hole. I'll just go ADP here and take an Amon-Ra share. But yeah, it seems like Rico Dowdle did not look amazing in his limited work so far. I think there's some Trevor Etienne extremists out there who think this might be the great opportunity for him. We'll see. My only memory of Etienne this year was I think he like fumbled a kick return or something, which seems not great. But we'll have to look more into that because he could be a I'll take Garrett Wilson here. That seems fine. That could be like if you're in a truly deep league, maybe he's worth a stash in case this Hubbard thing gets worse. It's a little weird that he had a setback after playing last week. Could suggest some level of severity that we're not quite in on yet. And so and then there's also the possibility that we will see some Trevor Etienne because Dowdle's not going to get 100% of the backfield. And sometimes these rookies get a chance and they don't give it up. So I would add him if you're in a truly deep league, or you're like desperate, or both. So I don't think anyone got in this draft. We've got Amon-Ra, Garrett Wilson. So we're going to play the late running back game. This contest is 36% full. So there's most of this contest, people aren't going to have Dowdle. I think even people who were taking Hubbard or Bucky, unless you aggressively rank Dowdle, I think you're still going to end up with subbing someone else in. Unless it was your only running back, you'll probably end up with a wide receiver ranked higher, is kind of my my vibesy take. I could do Fields with Wilson. I don't want to do Fields with Wilson every time. I mean, I almost feel like a true epic Fields game might not even need Wilson. It might just involve him rushing for a couple touchdowns, and there's no guarantee that he brings Wilson along. I'm going to pair them sometime, but I think it's a mistake to pair them every time. Conversely, a true ceiling Garrett Wilson game, Fields might not be the leading scorer on the slate because if he acts more like a traditional pocket passer, doesn't run one in, doesn't break off a big run, it's possible he doesn't get there. So I don't want them together 100% of the time, but I'm not going to not do that. Kevin notes that Basement Dwellers traded Kamini Vidal shares last year for Trevor Etienne shares this year. There's definitely through lines between them. I was not a Vidal guy last year, nor was I a Trevor Etienne guy this year. So I know I said I wasn't going to take Fields here, but this is a nice little dip on him. I'll take the Fergie side of the world, I guess. I do. Ferguson is just being so much volume. It's not even that we have Wilson. I'm not trying to game stack this one, but I could have taken Genty. That's fine. I think Genty Nation is in utter euphoria with him. I'm a little concerned. I think the Vegas lost another offensive lineman. Might still be tough sledding against the Colts. So we'll see if he comes back around, which he might if Coble doesn't take him. We could potentially look at that. But I'm also into scrolling down. Montgomery, it sounds like they really do want to get him a touchdown. Dan Campbell being such a player's coach, and his for those who don't know, his sister was paralyzed last year. This is the first time she's going to get to watch him play. So there's definitely a narrative building around that. I don't think I want Amon-Ra and Montgomery in the big BR. I'd be more open to that in the Deposit Kingdom contest. Kamara's live. Woody Marks is kind of a fun scroll. You could go even further. Ken Walker, he randomly breaks slate. Rashad White, if he inherits most of the backfield. So there's a lot of good running back scrolls. If you're truly brave, you can bet on a Chase Brown because nobody's taking Chase Brown, and it's not like Detroit's defense is not as bad as we sometimes remember, but it's not like a terrifying prospect here. So I have one person after me that needs a quarterback and a running back, and someone else needs a running back. So I'll have to decide which one I'm more willing to push. This could just be a good opportunity to take unstacked Jaden Daniels in this. And then we'll if no one takes Genty, maybe we just add Genty. If not, then we'll scroll into the depths. Yes, Greg agreeing with Kevin there. And so the first BR is in the books, and I think it's a perfectly reasonable team. Daniels, Scatabo, Ahmad Ra, Garrett Wilson, Jake Ferguson, and a running back to be named later. Let's get a little bit of Night Drive. Surprises how highly owned he ends up being. The Dolphins defense is terrible, so I don't mind that. I'm trying to decide if I should take Genty or if I should do a scroll. Oh, well, you know what? We will not scroll. We will just take this and hope that maybe we scooped enough ADP value. We really played this close to ADP, and our method of deduping is going to be that this might just be kind of a little bit hard to get. And also putting Jaden Daniels, most people who do this probably would have taken the chance to get Fields or taken Goff playing that game to shoot out. So I think taking unstacked Daniels is probably differentiating us enough to justify Genty. I'm not super big on Genty, but I don't want to be out on the guy because, you know, we were calling him the greatest prospect since Corey Dillon here, and it's a random running back. But yeah, we are pretty excited about Genty here. All right, let's see. Greg says, anyone watching the last night have anything to say about the D-Rob routes? I was in Yankee world. Greg says, CMC catches eating into his potential slot targets. Yeah, again, I've admitted I didn't get to watch it yet, so I can't answer. But if anyone in chat wants to help, I would be interested to know that too. From what I watched, it was a lot of Bourne. Bourne was getting a lot of stuff, a little bit of D-Rob, but Bourne was pretty heavily involved at least in the first quarter I was up for. Steven, I've seen Genty drop in quite a few drafts. Yeah, he definitely does. And I think the scrolling meta is pretty popular. So I think he's kind of, people after round 3 start getting into scrolly territory. So he's probably, that pick 20 ADP is where you might just get a room that decides they don't want to, go by ADP, and you end up with you could see him fall. He's kind of at that cut line. All right, let's get in another one. And my God, it's losing the lineman spooks a lot of it. It is frightening. It is concerning, but the touchdowns coming off of passing, like, you got to think they're going to realize, like, throwing him the ball is going to unlock some stuff. So I'm wondering if we see a little more of him. A little more dump offs to Genty, and just getting him the ball in like a little bit of space could be like a thing they should do more because it works. James Young, sorry for suggesting Bourne wasn't wide receiver 1. Chad, I was cartoonishly wrong about that. No worries, James. I don't think anyone. We don't really keep receipts here on this channel. We don't really keep receipts. I keep the receipts in my wallet until they get like too much, and then I just like throw them all out. So no worries. No worries there. James, Greg, big D-Rob guy. Yeah. Well, again, I'll have to review it, but it's hard to know, right, James? I mean, it's an uncertain situation. And so we're all just making our best guesses there, and we're just not going to be right every time. That's why some of those are kind of the games I actually, had I had more time, I kind of like to make some bets in showdowns or in like ladders on like the sports books, because the books are uncertain too, and if you're right, like, you can just get the lines and the projections are just way off because there is no answer. We're not using, the more data we have and the more games we have, the more, the less edge you have against like big projections in the sports books. But those like uncertain situations, you sometimes can attack them and like, get big payouts. So you're going to sometimes attack them and just attack them wrong, like you're going to pick the wrong side of it. But the thought process is not to be discarded completely. We got J-Dubs here at the 1. We got myself at the 4. I took A Chain here. We'll see what we'll see how we round out the team. And I'm gonna take this. You know what? We're gonna do the timestamps. People love the timestamps. I got so many comments on my stream after saying how much they love the timestamps. Actually, nobody said anything, but you know what? I'm going to imagine people were just love the timestamps. First BR. All right, and all right, we're on the clock. We've got A-Chain, a lot of running backs off the board. I mean, I'll just again go by ADP. I do really like McBride. But let's do a JSN team. There's a few decent tight ends before we have to scroll too far in there. I'll just do. All right. There we go. Getting the timestamps going. I don't know exactly when I started the second BR, but kind of a rough estimate there. All right, so we took JSN there. J-Dubs on the clock. A series of wide receivers go at this point. Jalen Waddle all the way up at 11 in this draft. I don't know if is that where he's going? No, he's ADP of 24. Okay, I was gonna say that seemed somewhat aggressive for Waddle, but I had nothing wrong with that. I also like their Breece Hall click. I am, I'm going to keep beating on the Scatabo drum. That Saints run defense is not good. They're in a dome. Scatabo getting just the absolute lion's share of the backfield. Dart's going to be annoying. Dart's going to steal some rushes. He's going to steal some looks around the goal line. But I do want to keep on this, because it would not surprise anyone for Scatabo to just get 2 touchdowns. Like if they do get in tight around the goal line. They were trying to get him the goal line work, and he just got stacked up. And that happens to everyone now and then. So we got A-Chain, Scatabo, and JSN. My favorite pick here would be Warren. I would be really excited to get Warren. If we don't get Warren, then we have to decide, do we want to do another Fergie team, or do we want to consider a QB stack? We do get lucky. We get Tyler Warren. I think that's there's a pretty good chance he's the tight end 1. Oh, the other note, I didn't mention this, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers did not practice yesterday. So trending the wrong way towards playing, which not great. We'll know today. If he returns to practice, it might be good, but the limited practice to DNP on Thursday is usually quite bad. All right, time to blow the nose. Sorry, everyone. My God, you can hear it coming because I'm running out of air as I'm talking. Oh, this is bad. It's all over for me. All right, we're deleting the stream. Delete the stream. I'm cooked. Yeah, not great. James saying a bet on Scatabo is a bet on the Giants offense. Any dart in BR? Wandale. I have not. I might have taken 1 dart. I like it though. I definitely like it as a scroll. I don't love it with Scatabo. I think if you play dart, you either do like you said with Wandale or Slayton, or take him entirely unstacked. Again, I know we're not being super creative taking JMO, who is now being drafted in most contests, but I do like Jamison Williams. He had so many unrealized air yards. I imagine in the pecking order of people that they want to get touchdowns to, it's going to be Montgomery and then JMO. I probably should be playing more Montgomery really with this narrative, because 90% of the time narratives are utter nonsense. But I do think in this case they really might be trying to get a touchdown to Montgomery in front of his sister. So I'm willing to potentially buy that. I'm not buying it on Dawg Bowls. He goes way too high. He goes in the 20s. I don't understand that. I think he's going to get 9 or 10 carries if you're lucky, and you're just hoping to get him a touchdown. And they might try to get him a touchdown. It doesn't happen. There's no, these things can get a little wonky. So now the question is, do we want to do Goff, unstacked Jaden, or a Daniel Jones? I'm going to do a Daniel Jones team. I am pretty into Daniel Jones. I like this Jones-Warren stack. It's not going to be rare, but I think most people in my boat would be sitting there with Goff at the top of the ADP queue and take a Goff share. So we will do that. But yeah, James, it's a good reminder. I might try to sprinkle in some dart with Wandale or Slayton as I roll through these. The Gale Kyron rushing prop cost me a bunch of BR drafts. We sail on GM. The Gale, were you on the unders? I have to imagine he hit based on what it sounded like, but unless he just like fell into the end zone a bunch. I know his first touchdown was a receiving touchdown, and I'm not sure exactly how it shook out, but that is rough. It's always rough to be on the wrong side of a. Oh shoot, I lost it. I wanted to go over Mr. Worth's team, and I left the draft room, so I apologize. There. I was going to look at your team at the end. I clicked out of it, and you can't go back to the draft boards once you're in. Let's see what the Dawg Bowl's at. I have a feeling like no one's in it. Everyone's sleeping in. Yeah, waiting for 9. All of the true sweaty Dawg Bowl drafters are sleeping in after Thursday Night Football. So we'll just get into a regular BR. Oh, we got 65. I needed 69 or more. Yeah, that's tough. I mean, what a fantasy output for for only having 65 rushing yards. My God. He's somebody that I did not have. Oh, John Boy Beats. All right. See, John Boy Beats probably would normally be in the Dawg Bowl streets, but instead we run into John Boy Beats at the 1. So we'll keep an eye on what he does. I know that's a very sharp drafter there. We're at the 3. I love Eddie Lacy. I hope that's actually Eddie Lacy, the former Packers running back in there at the 5 hole, and not just like a fan. And the Gale says, "Oh, not to mention, need one more Rams field goal for 1K." Rough. Field goals are so weird because there are just games where if the scoring gets like squirrely, then neither team has like any reason to kick a field goal. Like if like there's like a missed extra point, or there's like or just like the teams get out of sync to where the scoring like it just happens sometimes when like neither team needs to kick a field goal, and you can just tell it's going to happen from like in the third quarter. Like it just like stops making sense for anyone to like get 3. We'll take A chain here. So it's always a bummer when the field goal luck kind of goes away from you. All right, we will take A chain there, and we'll keep on keeping on. John Boy Beats takes Jonathan Taylor. That makes sense, of course. I think my favorite bring back on these has been Tet. If I want to stack that, I do think this is a good chance for a Tet eruption game, which means I might be a little lighter on Dowdle. I also have a little bit of a hard time with Dowdle ahead of some of the other guys, even when you scroll here. So let's do a Trey McBride team. So we'll do A chain McBride with the running back injuries. I think McBride might turn into a little bit of an extension of the run game. I think he could just be an absolute volume machine this week, and hopefully he gets a touchdown. Although, hoping Trey McBride gets a touchdown is generally a fool's errand. But against the Titans, anything is possible. The Gale said they were in field goal range for OT. Rams decided to go for the win instead of the tie with the field goal. Oh, brutal. All right, so we're back up. We got Trey McBride. Let's do a Breece Hall share. I'm into Breece Hall. He's going to get a ton of work. I almost feel like in a vacuum, I kind of prefer Javonte to Breece Hall, and their ADP is like six spots in BR is actually quite significant because it means that Javonte's not drafted every time, whereas Breece is drafted the vast majority of the time. So definitely consider playing the other side of that run game in different spots here. I would say that. Chris Burkle, GM Candles. Hey, GM to you, Chris. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out this morning. Appreciate the support. As you can see, we're not in the normal office. We soldier on. And yeah, can't believe it's already Friday. We'll be back on Monday. It's we're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it already. So QJ goes. I will live my truth. I will take a TET share. I'm happy to take TET even if I don't have a chain. Trying to figure out exactly what I want to do on this team. Maybe we'll get a little squirrely this draft. We're gonna get a little squirrely. And so here's the squirrely draft. I'm not just trying to impress John Boy Beats in here. He takes Brock Bowers, so he's either not afraid of the Q tag or is just trying to buy the dip if Bowers plays. We're gonna take Kyler here. We're gonna take Kyler, who does not get drafted every time. We're gonna stack Kyler and McBride, and then we're gonna take our favorite Canadian, and we're gonna take Io Manor. Ridley missed practice again. If I'm not mistaken, he missed Thursday practice. They said that he didn't play his full complement of snaps because he was injured. So, I mean, it could be Io Manor wide receiver 1 season. I'm not scared of Arizona's defense. I think Arizona's probably going to smush them. But I know Io Manor's been effective. I mean, these target numbers are not bad, but if Ridley actually misses, which I don't know that we know that he is, so this could just be like terrible. But even if he plays, I mean, Io Manor's been who Ward has looked for in their few opportunities to score, which again have been somewhat rare for Tennessee, but they're in a dome. So we're going to give it a whirl. Yeah, Jordan, GM to you, thanks for coming in. Yeah, Brees did get steamed. I mean, I'm a little surprised to see him this high in these, but I don't necessarily think it's wrong with Braylon Allen going down. We're still going to see Isaiah Davis. He's going to appear annoyingly. Like, the Jets are going to be like on the 9, and Isaiah Davis is going to be in the backfield, and we're going to be like, oh, come on. But I think the true goal line work probably will revert back to Brees, and I think Brees will just be getting quite a bit of work this week. So this team ends up being Kyler, A-Chain, Brees Hall, Ted McMillan, Io Manor, and Trey McBride. So kind of a wonky stack, but I think we can generally say we're probably not going to be duped here. John Boy Beats there. He goes Jonathan Taylor, Nico Collins, Igbuka, Bowers, White, and I have to imagine Baker. If he took White in Igbuka, I would be pretty stunned to see anyone but Baker appear here. He takes Daniel Jones. All right, so very interesting from John Boy Beats. He gets Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor. So just kind of onslaughting all the touchdown equity in Indy. Game bring back with Bowers, and then just saying Igbuka, Rashad White. Yeah, very interesting build. I think almost everyone would have ended that with Baker, but getting different there. Can't argue with that. I mean, there's when you have the running back, when you have White there, you could have Igbuka and White get there and Baker not be who you need, certainly, if White gets there on the ground. So, very interesting draft from John Boy Beats. I'm going to... Oh, no, I didn't do a timestamp. I'm just guessing when that last draft started. We'll say that started at 24-ish. Third BR. All right, I am failing utterly in my timestamp life. I don't even know if it's saving. All right. Let's see what the DBQ is at. Probably again not close. 3. All right, it is close. We'll hop into a DBQ. So Patrick Barnes YouTube, if you're watching, you can feel free to snipe me again. All right, let's see. Greg asking the real questions: is this Ridley stuff an injury or an injury, because everyone in the staff is pissed at him over there. I don't know. I mean, was it the first game where he had like multiple passes like bounce off his hands, and it seemed like he just like concentration wasn't there? That was regrettable. I don't know, Greg. I mean, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt that it is an injury, but you never know. Chris asking, you ever played the ladder contest in Underdog? I put my 40 from Eliminator onto a 10,000 X potential bet. If all 5 hit the lowest level, it pays 2.5. The number seems reasonable. I'm not in a pick'em state, so I do not. But I do ladder stuff on the sports books. Addison 25 yards, Bond 15, Pickens 50, Scatterbo 45 rushing, H-Chain 20. I mean, that seems reasonable, right? Oh, good. Patrick Barnes YouTube is at the 6. Kevin, our man Kevin here at the 2. A Magikarp high volume player. John Boy Beats. I knew he couldn't resist the Dawg Bowl. He is in here. I'm in here at the 4. J-Dubs, Mr. Worth at the 8. 2 bins, last week's winner at the 9. So, my God. Another room of killers. Mike Deck 22. The Elec play with the game stack is a sharp dart in a big field tourney. He's so confusing. Can't seem to get any separation with normal routes versus CB2s. Now would see more attention. Yeah, Mike Deck 22. You're 100% right. You're 100% right. He seems like he could end up being like a broken play merchant. But I thought he profiled kind of as like big bodied possession-y guy. Was kind of how I viewed him. That could be wrong. I thought that was kind of the, more of his prospect profile. So I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot. Like you said, big field dart throw. I don't think most people are going to go that direction, but I think the game script is going to be favorable, and we might not find out Ridley. If Ridley is out, we won't learn that till this afternoon. The contest will be 50% full. Nobody's taking him. And even when the contest, like even when we find that out, it's not like he's going to get steamed up. Like he's still going to be like a random sprinkly scroll. Steven, I noticed Dak and Herbert did not go in the last draft. Yeah, I mean the 6-person drafts, like people, it's crazy. Some of these like strong quarterbacks don't go, but you have 3 good. When you have Hurts and Daniels. Hold on, I am up. All right, let's capitulate to Big Hampton here. As much as I want to take Scatterbo for the bit, we'll take a Hampton. Make this a Hampton team. Greg says, IDK what it is with Ridley, but it hurts the best ball bags. What happened to those preseason routes? I know it's first. I know. I have a ton of Ridley. I have a ton of Ridley in BBM, and it's not looking great. it's not looking great. I mean, the whole system seems like it's not working there. But if you remember, Bo Nix's first like 3 games were like utter ass. Like they were terrible. And then he turned into the Bo Nix we remember. But people forget that it was not like smooth sailing the entire way. Tyler, howdy. Hey, GM to you, Tyler. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out this morning. Emo Cowboy coming by. Chris Burkle, Herbert is a great swap if there's an injury. I'm trying to think of who we're taking that might be out other than Daniels. But I think we're pretty sure he's going to play. Hey, Nez, GM Senior, Candles. Nez, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out this morning. We're running a Dawg Bowl. We're trying to put some of the masterclass principles at work. But you know what? I may not want to say that because you're going to watch my draft and be like, I do not want this individual representing my masterclass in any way, shape, or form. So all I will tell you is I consume the content, but this draft is going to be my own nightmare. Do not blame Nez. Do not if you don't like the draft, do not see that as a reflection on his product, because it is very good. I highly recommend you all check that out. No, you say that now, Nez. We'll see what we can concoct here. Let's check what the best and brightest are doing. We got Kevin at the 2. He takes Gibbs. Patrick Barnes YouTube with JSN. Last week's winner with Derrick Henry. J-Dubs, Mr. Worth, Breece Hall up at 8. So the Breece Hall steam is real. Trey McBride up at 11. So the Trey McBride steam continues to come. Not sure if that's, I don't know if that's the new ADP or this is like, if you want elite tight end and now you're afraid of Bowers being out, that's kind of where you got to get it. Yeah, ADP of 15.7. So seeing him at the turn is not okay. That's weird. Going McBride and Warren. I don't know if that is playing optimally, but you know what? It is going to make tight end a little wonky for the rest of the room. I will say that because it definitely will tighten things up. Scatavo at the 10, you'll love to see that. J-Dub's adding Pickens to Hall, so he game stacks that game. We see the same game stack here, but played through Fields and Javonte. The 12-hole really feels like more often than not is stacking that Jets-Cowboys game. And I suppose if you see Breece Hall now going in the first, there's a good chance you're going to see two people, highest total game. Unsurprising to see that, but going to have to figure out a way to get a little different if that's the way you decide to take your drafts. All right, so this is kind of a wide receiver country coming up. Patrick Barnes YouTube famously uses the entire clock. It's understandable. When you have a YouTube channel to advertise, you should maximize your screen time there. I would love Ted McMillan. He's like my favorite click. But assuming we don't get Ted McMillan, I don't think I want to go QJ and overstack the Chargers, but I could. Waddle's been screaming up draft boards. He screams up all the way to 20. We'll just take the Tet side of the universe. What I kind of like about Tet is, if you really want to be gross and take Bryce Young, he's pretty much going to be free to you. I think the projections hate Bryce Young. That's one place I disagree. I think if Bryce Young's ever going to break out this year, it's going to be against these terrible Dolphins. But again, I know I am in the strong minority with that. People are pretty much given up on the Bryce Young experience. And also, I think I can't remember if it was Hayden Winks tweeted that he has 0 designed runs this year, which seems absolutely crazy because his mobility is like such an asset. All right, we're going to make our pick, and then we're going to have to blow our nose. Because if you can tell, it sounds like I'm on helium. This is tough. This cold has absolutely wrecked me. Chris says, never know who twisted an ankle tripping over a dog at 3 a.m. That actually happened. That sounds vaguely familiar. I can't remember who that was. I can't remember who was the one that tripped over the dog, but I do remember that, the lore. Kevin says, I like the masterclass too, but the Dawg Bowls are just hard. Yes, that's the other thing, is nobody gives you an inch. I swear I had one yesterday. I was at like pick 26, and the lowest ADP was like 28. I'm like, that's not even mathematically possible. How am I like, there's negative ADP value at my pick. Like, what's going on? Like, if the next 3 take these, these 3 in order, then the next pick is 28.3 and I'm picking 28. Like, people simply do not give you an inch. People do not give you an inch in these Dawg Bowls. Kevin takes Woody Marks. I like that pick a lot. That's actually who I was targeting there. Now, if John Boy Beast doesn't take QJ, then we have to start thinking, do we want to do QJ and ideally Herbert? The issue is there's no guarantee we get Herbert on the way back because Ladd is there and people like Ladd. QJ has fallen to us. He has fallen to us. I think I'll actually... Oh, man, this is tough because I really like JMO here. I like JMO, but I also kind of like unstacked Jaden Daniels here. Talk to me, Goose. All right, you know what? We're gonna do Jaden Daniels. We'll do Jaden Daniels. We will leave some of the skill positions open. Again, Jaden Daniels, if he's healthy, I feel like probably is going higher here. I don't need to game stack this, but it's a little bit of a perk. Debo missing makes me somewhat concerned because if Debo's out, this offense could kind of like grind to a halt. I don't know. I don't want to say to a halt, but they're missing Debo and McLaurin. Now you just have Daniels throwing to Lane, and McCaffrey. I think Noah Brown is still hurt, so it's kind of like the passing game might be a little dicey. Who knows? Maybe that makes Daniels run more. Maybe that increases some of the throws to wide receiver, or to running backs. We'll see. We will see. All right, I gotta blow my nose. Sorry, everyone. All right, much better. So Dowdle goes right after at pick 29, which I think is interesting because to me that's actually even earlier than where Chuba Hubbard was going. So sometimes I think we have a tendency to we all want to rush in and scoop the ADP value to a point where we vaporize the value, and then you don't even get the value, but I don't know. I mean, that could be where it could definitely be where Dowdle ends up, but my recollection was Hubbard was kind of hanging out in this 32 to 36-y kind of range. And Dowdle is, I don't think he's quite the runner that Hubbard is, but we'll see. I mean, Dowdle was very effective last year with Dallas. And if he really does get the lion's share of the backfield against Miami, that could be, that could be a pretty nice place to get him. I love getting JMO at the turn here. I feel like that's nice for Stewie. So let's check in on everybody. Kevin, he's got Gibbs, Hurts, and Woody Marks. Like that. John Boy Beats with A-Chain, Egbuka, and Fergie. Makes sense. J-Dubs with Breece Hall, Pickens, and Dak. So he builds the full Dak stack with Pickens and Breece Hall. So nice little game stack from Mr. Worth. And yeah, not too bad. Hey, go easy cards. I missed a DBQ, so wanted to snipe a friendly streamer. All right, perfect. Perfect. Well, we'll probably run at least one more DBQ. My next draft, I'll do I'll just do a regular BR. But yeah, we'll run another DBQ before we get on out of here. I actually realized I didn't. My timestamps are just all wrong. I'm just straight up lying to the internet saying when I started stuff, but that's okay. It looks fancy when you look at the thing and there's chapters. All right. It was Brian Greasy in 2002. Yeah, those non-game injuries are good. My two favorites were Sammy Sosa throwing out his back sneezing. Probably because he was on so many performance-enhancing drugs. His sneeze was so powerful that no human anatomy could hold it. And then whatever happened to Dustin Johnson before the Masters, when he was the favorite to win the Masters, and he withdrew, and nobody knows exactly what happened, but the stories are litany. I believe he has a very good legal team, so I won't express what any of those stories are. However, it is a sort of fascinating tale for those interested. I feel like our running back scrolls have gotten bad. Pittman Jr. cropped up on the injury report. A little bit disconcerting there. I might just take Tony Pollard here. I feel like there's something obvious I'm missing, and people are going to be interstellar yelling at me. Spears' practice window is opened. It's yet to be seen if he's going to play. I don't hate Chase Brown because, again, he does get so much volume there, but I'm not particularly afraid of Arizona's run D. So let's get let's just grab that. Let's just grab Tony Pollard, lock up a second running back, and then we'll figure out where to go at wide receiver. There's some decent enough scrolls that we can scroll down to. I'll pull the board up so people can see what's going on. Zach Ertz going here. That's quite a bit earlier, but maybe that's a function if Debo does miss time. Probably will see Zach Ertz rise in some of these draft boards. I'm trying to think what I want to do with my next pick. I'm fine punting tight end till the very end if I have to. That seems, I'm okay with that because it looks like wide receiver might be getting a little thin. Hey, Donnie Murphy, GM to you. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate you, Donnie Murphy. Joel, the Marty Cordova tanning bed. I'm gonna have to look at that one. It's vaguely familiar. I feel like the name alone, you can kind of piece together what happened, but I'm gonna have to look into that. All right, board is coming back. Keenan Allen, Chris Godwin, Zay Flowers. I took my first T. Higgins here yesterday. Not super opposed to it. I don't love it. Chris Godwin is Kevin. You're reading my mail, Kevin. I think Chris Godwin is who I had mentally talked myself into taking there. Now, could I take Keenan Allen and just play this Charger Washington game to kind of shoot out? I think my issue is I don't necessarily love Keenan Allen. I think I'd rather take the shot on Zay Flowers. We've seen Cooper Rush support an alpha receiver. The Stingley treatment is a little bit scary, but I think Rush is more likely to just try to jam it to Flowers. So we'll take a Zay Flowers share. And, again, maybe it's a mistake to not stack the Chargers when I have Daniels here, but I guess I'm just a little bearish on Allen. I guess I'm just a little bit like, he's fine. I'm just having a little bit hard time seeing him as the guy you absolutely need this week. Go AZ Cards. Unfortunately, I'm scared of the Arizona run D. In fact, I'm scared of the entire defense. That's true. I mean, they are the highest priced defense on old DraftKings, but I don't know. I feel like he's still going to be getting the volume there in that pick 45. I will take that. But again, there's a reason he's going in the 4th round. I think most people would agree with you. Jordan noting that the Lions secondary stand don't hate T. Higgins. Yeah, I don't hate T. Higgins. I'm willing to take the shot on him there for sure. For sure. I mean, Browning showed flashes of competency up until this year. They've faced very good pass defenses thus far. So we'll see. I mean, definitely a little bit of a squeaky wheel narrative on T. Higgins. So J Dubs has a nice a textbook team, if you will. So he's got Hall, Pickens, and Dak stacking that game, and then he's got Laporta with Higgins in the Detroit Cincy game. Now, I said to myself, tight end was going to get squirrely because someone took 2 elites, and I did not act on that, and so I'm going to have to scrape the bottom of the tight end barrel here. So we'll see what we come up with. Let's check in though on the best and brightest, including our friend Kevin with Gibbs, Hurts, Woody Marks, AJ Brown, and Chris Godwin. I mean, I like the team. Hurts, Brown seems good. No notes, Kevin. I like your team. John Boy Beats, he goes A-Chain, Egbuka, Ferguson, Chase Brown, and Danny Dimes. I like that team. Danny Dimes is perfectly fine to take unstacked. We'll see who he takes at late wide receiver. J-Dubs, we just went over J-Dubs teams. Tubins, last week's winner. Henry, Wilson, Brock Bowers, Rashad White, and he takes the scoops the value on Keenan Allen there. So he needs a quarterback left. Let's see who he takes as a late flyer. Who's his late quarterback du jour? I'm wondering if he was planning to take Jackson Dart, because Jackson Dart's kind of nice unstacked. So let's see. Let's see. Does he get gross and take my guy Bryce Young, who I don't mind taking unstacked? But I think I'm on a very small island there, and the island is sinking. It's not a great island to be on. Hey, Kelly Lapidus, thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. Appreciate you. Good morning to you. He takes Gino. Well, that makes sense because he has Brock Bowers. So there you go. So he stacks Gino and Bowers. Hopefully Bowers plays. J-Dub's taking RJ Harvey. I think that's perfectly fine. Running back punt there. Can't complain about that. All right, we're coming up. Tight end. Man. All right. Interesting choices. So Juwan Johnson did crop up on the injury report. He upgraded to limited Thursday, so he'll probably play. Darren Waller, who played 25% of routes but got 2 touchdowns, feels a little fishy. I do like Tommy Tremble. I don't know if I necessarily want to have Tremble and McMillan here, but I don't hate it. Oh man, I'm not sure how I want to play this, and time is running out. Time is running out. Let's just say the Dolphins' defense really is ass, and we'll take Tremble. We'll take Tremble there. Say that they just want to embarrass the Miami Dolphins. Ja'Tavion Sanders is still out. You know, the Dolphins secondary is god awful. I think his snaps are pretty good. I think he played over 70% of snaps. He looked good in relief of Ja'Tavion Sanders. So we'll take the Tommy Tremble plunge. So we'll have two pieces against the Dolphins. We're just going massively short the Miami Dolphins. Plus, who knows, with Chuba out, maybe Tremble gets a little more short yardage stuff, can kind of half PPR scam his way through the day. That does it for this team. Kevin Ens's team, he does take Juwan Johnson there. And Magikarp, he takes Spencer Rattler with Chris Olave. So, all right, appreciate all of you hanging out. I don't know if we put on a masterclass, maybe more of a substitute teacher, but that's fine. That is fine. We're going to hop into another BR. And we're waiting for one if you want to get in on it. Go AZ cards at this point in the draft. Juwan swap isn't a bad thing with what's available, but Juwan playing is outstanding for the cost. Hey, you can tell me that before I pick. Okay? Let me know. So I don't have Tommy Tremble. I'm going to watch Tommy Tremble have 6.2 half PPR points as Juwan Johnson gets his, second touchdown against the Giants. What are we doing? What are we doing here? But yes, go AZ cards. I agree. It's not a bad swap. I guess in the moment, and I should know this, the Moreau and Taysom injury reports. I think that's my I'm worried that he's not going to have all the snaps anymore. That's my that's what I'm trying to say. So we had Foster Moreau limited, and how do they even have Taysom Hill? They have him at quarterback limited. So I'm less worried about Taysom Hill because he kind of plays his own weird position. He just listed as a tight end. But if Foster Moreau's back, that could just be like annoying. So I don't know. Go AZ cards. That's what has it. So between him being quasi hurt and possibly getting Moreau back, that's more the FUD for me. Kevin says, I wanted Tremble, but I'm assured that Juwan Johnson is who you need now that you pass. Yeah. That's probably true, Kevin. That's probably true. All right. Gosh, we just keep getting H. All right. We'll take H-Ain. Let's not overthink it. All right. So we got John Boy Beats in this room here. We are in at the 3. The Gale says Bryce Young double stack will be quite the flex when it wins. I mean, I have some Bryce Young doubles. Not proud of it. It's probably bad. I rostered Bryce Young the week they played Penix. I was into that. And what did they win? Like 32-0 or something like that. And Bryce Young had like 10 points. It was terrible. It was awful. He had a rushing touchdown their first possession and then had no more touchdowns the rest of the day. But that was more a function of the Falcons being completely inept. So if the Dolphins can show a little bit of life, not too much life, but just enough, we could be onto something here. Could also be terrible. But I'm telling you, the Dolphins defense is so bad, like historically bad. All right. All right, you know what? Let's do Nico. Let's skip this Wilson Pickens range. Let's try to get a little different here. Let's go Nico Collins on this team. I'm looking something up. I'm gonna look something up. No, it wasn't Cooper Rush. All right. I'm trying to remember who the quarterback late last year was that like broke the slate in week 17 that no one had, and the name is escaping me. It was shoot, I gotta look this up. There's some like bad pocket passer had like an absolute nuke week, so I don't know. I know it's scintillating streaming here as I'm like racking my brain for something. All right, we'll take Tyler Warren while I can think of it. Drew Lock, thank you, Mike Deck, thank you, Steven. Yes, Drew Lock. I was who also will be playing this week. Speaking of Drew Lock, I couldn't remember. I remember pocket passers randomly getting there. I think doing Cooper Rush is a little bit too clever against Houston, but I guess if you want to do a Cooper Rush Zay Flowers stack, I don't think I want to do that in the main BR. That feels too thin. But yes, it was. You're right. Drew Lock showed us that the pocket passer that is 0% owned in contests can get there. Although I think the DK Millie winner had Drew Lock on his team. I'm pretty sure Drew Lock shipped someone $1 million. All right, so we got A-Chain. I mean, we could live our truth. We could live our truth and take Tet, or I could make a Jalen Hurts team. I feel like I do this a lot. All right, let's make a Tet team on stream, so for all the glory. So we're gonna take Tet. We'll put Bryce Young in the queue, and we're gonna take another running back. So let's see. I mean, I don't know if I really want to overstack, but we could. I mean, we could just say the Dolphins stink. I don't know if I want to do this. I think if I did Bryce Young doubled, I'd probably want to do Young, Tremble, and Tet more than this. So I don't know. We'll see. Let's get Javonte. Javante's I think Javante's really nice. So we'll do Javonte and Bryce Young. This team will not be duped unless one of you guys dupe me. It's fine. The team's probably bad. But yeah, we'll do Javonte, Bryce Young. So I think that's kind of a fun little Bryce Young skinny stack with an A-Chain bring back. See what happens. See if Bryce Young can't ship us the BR. Go easy cards. Let's make a Let's team on stream. You say it like it's your first. Yeah. It's like showing up on like a cooking show, like a cooking show where they make cakes. Like, oh, you know what? Let's make a cake on Cakes of the Week. Like we're definitely going to. I hear you. Yeah, no, a Tet team. I got you there. All right. Yeah, we're making another Bryce Young Tet team. All right, so we're gonna take Bryce Young next. I'm gonna queue up let me put Jalen Hurts in the queue just in case the Baconator or Jokey decides to get me. All right, let's see. We're feeling good. Let's try another Dawg Bowl before Patrick Barnes hops in. Oh, waiting for 5. All right, I'm hopping out of that. We'll do another BR after this. Oh no, I forgot my timestamp. Again. This is awful. All right, we'll just say it was 55. 4th BR. All right, these timestamps are all lies. All right, we took Bryce Young. So we went Bryce Young, A-Chain, Javonte, Deco, Tet McMillan, Tyler Warren. Seems fun. All right, let's do it again. Before I do it again, actually, I want to do some of these. All right, what's a 3rd and long at? Waiting for 4. All right, I don't want to do that. I do want to do these side contests, and I always forget. To do them. All right, how about in Rage 8? All right, we're doing an Engage 8. Why not? This is a 8 entry max, 2K to first. Let's try to ship this. All right. So we are going to go do that. Getting all my underdog notifications late. That is awesome. All right. All right. We're in the 5 hole. So, all right. So this is a smaller field contest. So we definitely can feel better about double stacking. So maybe let's try to do this Hampton Herbert QJ or Hampton Herbert Ladd double. Let's plan that. If somebody takes Hampton, then maybe let's do an Amon-Ra Monty double. Let's try to do a double stack in this one and see if we can't come up with something fun. So that's going to be the plan. That's going to be the plan here. So where does QJ go at 19? So he may or may not be there. Where does Ladd go? Ladd goes like in the last round, so we don't have to worry about that. So if we want to do it with Ladd, all right, so Hampton does go. So that's out the window. That is out the window. Now, maybe let's try the same thing. Actually, we're audibling here. We're audibling. Let's try to do it with the Dallas game. I'm going to take Wilson as the bring back first. This might be bad because I want to do Wilson Javonte. I want to do a Wilson Javonte team. But I think if I do that, I do want somebody pushing them. I think Garrett Wilson is the easiest way to play this. Man, passing on Amon-Ra. Passing on Amon-Ra feels not great, but we're going to pass on Amon-Ra. We're going to give this guy something. Because if I take an Amon-Ra here and taken Wilson there, I would have a normal team. So, you know, that person gets Hampton, Amon-Ra. GM to you, CKNI. I hope if I don't win, you do. I hope if I do not win this contest, you are the shipper. All right. So we got Javonte queued up. Javonte and Dak. Let's see how this goes. I may not have stayed flexible enough with the fact that that Amon-Ra came back around. But I'm trying to do something here, and the Engage 8 is a fun place to experiment a little bit. So, all right, just seeing what people do. Fields goes here in Jamar Chase, so this person's sticking somewhat close to ADP. This person has Jalen Hurts, so I don't have to take Dak first. I think. How many running backs have gone? So 3 running backs could go after me. Javonte is RB4. I mean, as much as I would love this team to be like Scatabo Javonte, I can't guarantee that to come back. So let's just take Javonte here. We get Javonte. We're just trying to build a stack. The gal asking, do you usually play safer in small field or get more? Oh, I definitely take it a chance to get a little weird. I will though. I know I did the exact opposite this time. Sometimes in the small field, people are doing things exactly like I am, and you can get nice values. And so I will just take a room where I'm just going to scoop all the ADP value. So it just depends. I don't like to. All right, yeah. Let's just take Dak here, man. I am worried about Dak not coming back to me, but I do really want Tyler Warren. I think he's kind of a pretty hefty tier break. All right, I'm gonna risk it. That there's enough QB options that no one's gonna take unstacked Dak when I have Pickens and Javonte. The risk is Fergie is the next tight end. This might have been bad because Fergie is, I think, the next tight end on the board. So someone could easily do a Fergie Dak stack and tell themselves that that's good. So we'll see. We will see. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you can just take what the room gives you, and it gives you something that's like pretty rare, at least compared to like the main BR, where you do see a lot of people like sticking close to ADP. Oh no, that guy took Fergie. And he doesn't have a good stack. Oh, rip dreams. That was stupid. I should have just said I'm going to punt tight end in this one, but we'll see. if Dak does go, then I think we just play this through Jaden Daniels and say that Pickens and Javonte get there, but Daniels outscores them, which is fine. Or I take Daniel Jones and take with Tyler Warren. So that was a little bit of an unforced error on my part. I am very confident this guy's going to take Dak here. All right, let's see. There goes Goff. We wait. He takes Jaden Daniels. All right. Well, that's good. That is good. I actually think that makes more sense on his team. Not just selfishly there. Hopefully this guy doesn't take him for no reason. But you never know. People do odd stuff. If he goes here, then this turns into a Daniel Jones team. We wait with bated breath. He takes Herbert. All right, sweet. All right, we got our guy. Wait, no, I don't have to take Dak yet. But it doesn't matter because, well, all right, what do we want at running back? Do we want to do Woody Marks? I don't think I want to do... I'm just not that big on the Montgomery thing. I know we were talking about this Make-A-Wish stuff, but I feel like I'm just gonna take Woody Marks. I think Woody Marks could be like really good this week. So we'll take a Woody Marks share, and then we'll take Dak. So this team is going to be pretty unique. Probably no one else in the Engage 8 is going to have this. So we're going to have Dak, Javonte Williams, Woody Marks, Garrett Wilson, George Pickens, and Tyler Warren. So not too bad. There's a chance I'd like this team more had I tried to push early. Maybe I'd like this team more if it doesn't have Garrett Wilson. I think maybe that's the key, because this team doesn't necessarily even need Garrett Wilson. Like you can have a Dak overstack it there and just nobody on the Jets even gets home. So I don't mind this team. I think there's like a good concept here. I just don't know if I executed it perfectly well. All right, let's see what that Dawg Bowl's at. As I all right, waiting for 2. All right, let's do that. 105.00 Engage 8. And now we are at 109 Dawg Bowl 2. All right, sweet. Well, everyone, I appreciate all of you coming in and hanging out. Go Easy Cards 3 for the DBQ. Come join me for Snipey. Hey, I'm nothing if not a man of the people. Go Easy Cards, thanks for coming in and drafting here. But yeah, everyone, appreciate y'all coming in, hanging out, having some fun. A chill Friday morning stream. Running into no tilt yet. We're still we're still doing good. Little Friday morning stream before the weekend, and things get real. We're in at the 5. Our nemesis is at the 4. The evil Patrick Barnes YouTube. We're at the 5. Ecoxer at the 9. Go Easy Cards at the 10. Another high volume and Magikarp at the 12. So we got a good room here. We're picking in the middle yet again. So we're gonna have to decide how we want to construct this one. I just don't know if I really want to make like Amon-Ra. Like I'm just like not as into that as some others are. So we will see. Chris says thanks again. Hey Chris, thank you for coming in and hanging out. And as I try to navigate these shark infested waters as a non-shark, as a grouper or a sailfish or something, maybe more of a clownfish. But either way, we are swimming with the sharks. Jonathan Taylor goes off at the 1. Go AZ Cards wants 400 and Flex Pick'em missed out on 8K. Only needs CMC to get that second touchdown. I mean, after like the first quarter, I went to bed, and when I woke up, my first thought was CMC scored 40 fantasy points. And he had a good day, but I I would have been thrilled with that. Go easy cards. That would have been pretty sweet had you shipped that. All right, so we've got the 5. I mean, I'm debating just taking Cam Scatabo and saying that the best ball elite just don't want you to know that that's what you need this week. So we'll see. We'll see what we get. We will see what we get. I really like that game. I really like that game this week. And I don't know. I think that's where I would have him in my heart of hearts. All right, Hampton goes, you know what? We live our truth. This is a Cam Scatabo channel. And so if you don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you, but you're gonna see this happen more than you'd like, probably. Is it actually a debate taking Scatabo? Really? I mean, look. All right, we can take Amon-Ra. We can take JSN. We can take Derrick Henry against Houston, who he destroys every year. Or we could take social media sensation Cam Scatabo with a quarterback who runs the ball around the goal line and doesn't check down. I mean, what are we doing here? We got it. I mean, clearly that is the answer. I mean, the dart rushing stuff is a little bit frustrating. I will be the first to say that. It's not unexpected. I think there's a chance we see a few more designed passes to Scatabo because we have lost to the check down. Like, dart will not check it down, which was a nice feature of the Russell Wilson experience. Go AZ Cards, you take the young guy, I will take the old fumbling guy. Hey, one of us has to win, right? Isn't that how it works? Go AZ Cards, he takes Derrick fumbling Henry there. I mean, I like Henry a lot. I actually, if I wasn't going to take Scatabo, I was going to take Henry there in full candor because, I mean, what else are the Ravens going to do? Like, I don't know. It feels like Henry could just be in line, and they have to win. They're 1-3. They can't save Henry for December. Like, it's now or never for the Ravens. So I don't mind the Henry shout whatsoever. All right, let's see what the wood gives us. I've already missed out on Ted McMillan, so we can't just play the hits from the last one. He takes Waddle. Let's do our guy Warren. All right, this team's already coming together, folks. This team is already coming together better than I could have possibly dreamt of. So we've got Scatabo and Warren. Go AZ Cards. He's got Henry and Nico, so he's building a nice game stack over there. That makes sense. Breece Hall at the 9. Man, just sticker shock seeing Breece Hall all the way up here at pick 9. But that is the price. That is the price. Go AZ Cards. The 111 messed up my plan. I wanted to do Browning Chase Higgins team. Never going to get Chase Higgins double this cheap. Why not do one bullet? I mean, I think there's something to be said for that. But Chase went. I see what you're saying. That feels early for Chase, and especially in Dawg Bowls. I feel like I don't see him go. I feel like he sometimes slips, like, even to the left side of the universe. So that was a little unlucky when you have like a build in your head, and then it's like, well, I mean, this is, I think this is going to be a little more standard there. Probably going to, feel and project better. Plus the nice thing about Nico is if you really want Stroud, like no one's taking Stroud from you. Like you have your stack as a bailout if you have to use it, right? Like that, I don't know if that's your first choice or not, but at least it's like something you have in the back of your mind. I don't know if I'm going to have any Stroud teams though, but I'm happy to tell other people to do that. All right, so Rachaad White goes. Last time we got pretty thin at running back. Kamara is fine. The Giants' run defense is nothing to be super duper afraid of. I'm more afraid of Kendre Miller, like kind of eating his supper, which is getting annoying. Standard to start, interesting finish. I mean, it. Go AZ Cards. That is the pipeline. To end up with an interesting team. All right, Brock Bowers goes. Do we want to go Scatabo Kamara? Or do we want to take a take another receiver. A little bit torn. I mean, I think we just take Woody Marks. I think we just keep trotting this out. Scatterbo Marks. Again, don't have to worry about running back. I don't have to worry about tight end. I think there's a few scrolly receivers I like. So, all right, happy with the team so far. Happy with the team. It's probably going to project like ass compared to other teams drafting out of the 5-hole. But you know what? The game's played on the field, not in the projections. As I lose another week of Dawg Bowl entries. All right, so we got Scatterbo, Warren, and Marks. Go AZ Cards is about to come up. He's got Henry, Nico, and we'll see what he does next. See what his assortment of options is there. The 7-hole, not the 7-hole. No, the 7-hole has gone 3 wide receivers: JSN, Pickens, and Harrison. Yeah, go AZ Cards. I didn't want to say anything. I love getting Hurts there. I picked 34. That's really nice. And now you don't have to CJ Stroud. It's like Homer Simpson with the emu farm. Yeah, who would ever do that? But yeah, Jalen Hurts there. That's nice. I like the Hurts pick there. So we got 2 people going triple wide receiver in the first 3 rounds. I feel like you don't see that super frequently. We got Wilson, Chase, and JMO. For Tyler there, we got JSN, Pickens, and MHJ. Franklin comeback. People are saying. I mean, yeah, if they shut down Sutton, then certainly it could be a Franklin week. Their secondary pieces are always a little bit annoying of who to use. Last week was like the fabled Marvin Mims week, which we thought was only a legend that we were told, but it actually happened. So we'll see if it is a Troy Franklin week. We are coming up on the clock. We're probably going to need a wide receiver at some point, though. It seems like that's something we should be possibly investing in here. So let's see what we can see. Again, Pittman makes me a little nervous, cropping up on the injury report midweek with a hamstring. Cortland Sutton's fine. Jacoby Myers fine. Olave certainly interesting on the other side of our king Scatterbo there. Let's see. How many quarterbacks? I have to dodge. I have to dodge 2 people from taking quarterback if I push quarterback here. So trying to decide. Probably looking at taking Daniel Jones myself, but being that he can go unstacked, who are the quarterbacks ahead? We got Dak, and that's it. Tough call. I don't know that I think any of these quarterbacks are worth losing out on my Daniel Jones, Tyler Warren thing. So we're just going to take Daniel Jones now, and we're going to take 2 more wide receivers. So that's where we're going. Okay, I'm not going to lie. This is a better start than my vision. Yeah, go AZ Cards. I like your team a lot. Bucky officially out as of now. Okay, thanks to Gale. So the Rashad White Nation in delirium. Sean Tucker truthers are also looking to get home as well. So thanks for that, the Gale. Yeah, the Go AZ Cards, you added AJ Brown. So you got Hurts, AJ Brown on your team. Yeah, I like the squad. Let's see what we come up with over on our side of the world. It's probably gonna be a little sweaty, not gonna lie. Things are we'll see what we can do. We will see what we can do, but at least we don't have to take a tight end late because those have a tendency to get a little unfortunate over on the towards the left side of things. So Godwin goes. That is who I would have taken had he come around. Pittman, as we're seeing, continues to fall. At a certain point, Pittman becomes worth it with the to play the Q tag game. I just don't know. I don't know if I want to do that or not. Excuse me. Say Flowers goes. All right, let's see. Let's see if Pittman survives to me or not. I'm a little torn. All right, Devonta Smith goes. I don't know. That midweek hamstring thing has me pretty out. We're gonna take our guy Rashid Shaheed. We'll take Rashid Shaheed because when it's Rashid Shaheed week, it's pretty incredible. And him, I think you can get behind the Giants defense. So we're gonna try that. We're gonna play a little mini game stack there, and then figure out somebody super late. It's possible he would have been there at 68. And then I should have taken Pittman and just, set the ranks. But I wanted a little more control over how my team looked than to just hand it over to the Q tag gods. So we'll probably do this and then one or two more PRs and then get on out of here. So again, appreciate you all coming by, hanging out. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you putting up with me and my never-ending sequence of colds I have. It is not fun, and it's rather embarrassing. It's rather embarrassing to be blowing your nose on stream. All right, go easy cards on the clock. And yeah, it feels like I'm underwater. Dear God. Let's see who he adds to: Henry, Nico, Hurts, and AJ Brown. He needs a tight end and then one more skill position player. He takes J.K. Dobbins. All right, so he built out a little more in this Philly Denver game. So he has one mini game stack, one bigger game stack, and then we'll see what he does at tight end. So like the team that you have been putting together, go easy cards. I didn't hit mute. I clicked the button, nothing happened. I'm sorry. Gosh darn it. Go easy cards. You wanted Pittman. Is he still there? I don't think anyone's taken him. Yeah, people are terrified. People are terrified at this point. Let's see how many people can actually take him who are left. If a Magikarp doesn't take him, then Ecoxer is the only one who can still take a wide receiver, unless I'm reading the board wrong. So Magikarp does take him there. Hard to pass up, but I went game and RB. Yeah, I mean, it was hard for me to pass up. I guess I don't know. I unironically need to re-listen to the masterclass section about the Q tags because they have a really good section on how to play that, and it is very good stuff. And I just generally just get nervous and want like my full control over my team, but that was approaching the point where the risk reward did feel like it was starting to skew towards just taking him there, especially with Danny Jones. But part of me doesn't love the Daniel Jones doubles because some of the Daniel Jones thesis involves like rushing touchdowns. So then at a certain point, he's kind of a weird hybrid of a pocket passer, rushing quarterback. I don't love double stacking my rushing quarterbacks because again, the thesis involves them somewhat getting there on the ground. So that was a bit of a tough call. That's a bit of a tough call for me. All right, we need one more wide receiver. I mean, we could do the Io Manor thing, assuming Ecoxer doesn't take Io Manor. He takes Malik Washington. So this is two sharp people we've seen take Malik Washington. I saw Nez take Malik Washington with his last pick in a couple days ago. We see Ecoxer take Malik Washington. So definitely can add him to your late pool is what I'm saying, because I'm seeing multiple good players in the last round of Dawg Bowls doing that. So now my question will be T. Higgins or Io Manor, which is like an insane sentence to say out loud. Not gonna lie. think I'm gonna lean Io Manor. We're really gonna try to shoot the moon with this wide receiver room to get to the Dawg Bowl. It would be a legendary experience. So this team ends up being Daniel Jones, Cam Scatterbo, Woody Marks, Rashid Shaheed, Alec Io Manor, and Tyler Warren. I don't mind this team. It's definitely unorthodox. It's tough to wait till round 5 to get a receiver because you're now drawing to 2 thin outs. But I feel like these are 2 kind of spike weeky guys. So go easy cards. I hate that you took him. That's my sleeper of the week. I think I have 5 shares. Who? Io Manor or Shaheed? I'm interested to know. But anyway. It is good that that we're in agreement on something because you know what you're doing. So I generally like to end up there. So that wraps up this Dawg Bowl. Go easy cards. I like your team. I like the Mark Andrews the ending because you continue to build out that Ravens Houston game. Let's get in another BR. If anyone wants to hop on in. Waiting for 4. All right, 127. All right. Waiting for 3. But yeah, it's a fun slate. It's definitely a fun slate. I really like the options here. The bye weeks add some wrinkles with losing so many teams. It feels like it thins out, especially in the Dawg Bowl. It thins out a lot. It felt like it thinned out before, but let alone missing 4 teams here. So, all right, we got Mr. Worth here at the 4. We're at the 6-7 turn. So yeah, let's see how this one goes. Oh, Io Manor, yeah, easy. Secondary sucks and Ridley hasn't practiced it. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think that's only my second share, but. Or maybe even my first in the Dawg Bowl. I can't even remember. Did I get him in the Dawg Bowl or did I get him in a BR? But either way, I think he's kind of a fun late click to be sprinkling in. And yeah, the game script should definitely favor passes going his way. It's just they're being thrown by Cam Ward, which is not great. All right, draft starts in 6 seconds. I have not checked any Twitter or anything while I've been on, so I'm relying on all of you to spread the news, like the Gale, who let us know that Bucky is officially out this week. All right, and we are off. We see Amon Rocco at the 1. Again, I do think it's worth noting that the later you get in the week, the more squirrely stuff you see, because the 150 maxers start doing weird things. I think people start straying more from ADP. It's also it gets boring taking the same guys in the same draft spots, the same time, in the first round. So you will start seeing people do some odd stuff, and that can be a chance to build some unique combos, but through getting ADP values rather than scrolling. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. All right, A-Chain goes. So we will not get any kind of unique combos by not scrolling here. Let's make a boomerific team. Let's go Saquon Henry. Let's go Saquon Henry. We'll leave the running back scrolling to the others in this draft. See how that goes. There's definitely enough good wide receivers to where you can go pretty far down and feel like you've got some fun options. I wonder if Debo is out, if we will see people start taking Luke McCaffrey or even Lane on the Washington side, or if it just means that we see Zach Ertz push up past Waller. I think people are. Waller being the tight end 6 feels absolutely bananas. So I feel like people are probably ready for somebody to usurp that. And I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up being Zach Ertz. But we will see. So we've got Saquon and Henry. If Nico comes to us, I think we just scoop that ADP value. To me, Egbuka is a little bit overpriced. Seattle's defense is pretty good. Godwin's back. I feel like we're paying we're paying a lot. We're paying an awful lot. But then again, I suppose who am I putting ahead of him? Waddle, Tet. I don't know. Maybe that is where he should be. It feels high. It feels high to me. Maybe it just says that there's kind of a big tier break in my mind after Nico. So even if the ADP is not big, it's sort of mentally, I'm much happier if I have Nico, Pickens, JSN than Egbuka at pick 15. All right. Once again, we definitely prefer Tyler Warren. If we don't get Tyler Warren, now we have to decide if we want to do a little bit of scrolling at tight end today. QJ, let's make this a Waddle team. I feel like I do too much Waddle Tet, but I do like Waddle Tet. Let's do Waddle JMO. Let's do a Waddle JMO team. So we got Saquon, we got Henry, we got Waddle, we got JMO. I have not done any Tua stuff. I'm not adamantly opposed to it. I don't think I love it. I'm kind of not super into that. So this could end up being a Goff team. This could end up being an unstacked rushing quarterback team. Probably will not be a Jalen Hurts team, being that we have Saquon, and I think they are one of the more negatively correlated quarterback to running back tandems that you can come up with. Go easy cards this week for the Dawg Bowl Q. People who waited or avoided Q tag players early are sitting good. I think I agree with that. I still remember I got Bucky Irving because I autoed him and won, and I'm still really irritated by that because I was nervous about him and I didn't know that the draft had fired, and I came back and I had Bucky. So I'm not great. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Bowers. I think that's the next big domino to fall where we're kind of on the fence about it. Does Michael Mayer become a live late round click if Mayer's back from his concussion, if Bowers is out? I feel like Mayer is somebody I will be taking in my late Dawg Bowl stuff if he is back. If Bowers is in, don't play Michael Mayer. But if Bowers misses, I think that's somebody I would be very, very into for a free tight end. But this is also a bit of a Michael Mayer channel, so I'm not the most unbiased. Go easy cards. I lost connection to my first DBQ and autoed Ward and Mix. Oh no. Yeah, that's not great. That is not good. All right, I guess we'll just take an unstacked Daniels, right? All right, let's do unstacked Daniels and Tommy Tremble. All right. So this is a Daniels, Saquon, Derrick Henry, Jalen Waddle, Jamison Williams, Tommy Tremble. I actually quite like this team. I think this team came out pretty good. Could I have taken Laporta and Goff? No, because somebody had Goff. But I think this team is perfectly reasonable. All right, we're gonna do one more VR, and then we're going to get on out of here. I think Davis goes live at 10:30. Has some good streams. I think it's a stream with Rich Rebar, which is absolutely worth watching. I am pretty sure that's the stream I credit my VR win to, because I think it was Rebar on Davis's channel who mentioned that B-Rob, the split in pass catching between B-Rob and Eckler was actually not as far apart as people think, and that got me to stack Brian Robinson with Jalen with Daniels. and that's actually like what won me the contest. So definitely huge shout to that stream. Huge shout to Davis. So I definitely recommend that show, because you never know what kind of little alpha you could pick up that actually changes your underdog course of things. All right, so we are up at the 1 hole. Finally not going to end up at the turn figuring out what to do, or with another 8-chain team. And we will take Jonathan Taylor here. In 13 seconds. But no, so appreciate you all. So appreciate you guys hanging out on this wonderful Friday morning. Can't wait for us to get some actual football this weekend, and I got a good feeling about this slate. I really do. It's been a good one. And hopefully all of you survive your first bye weeks. Your advance rates don't falter too dramatically, because I'm sure we're going to start seeing some big changes as the season moves on, and as we miss some players with some weeks. So we'll take Jonathan Taylor here, and then see what the room hands to us. Trying to think if there's any other notable injuries that we're waiting on this week. I guess we have not officially gotten word that Jaden Daniels is playing, but I'm playing the game like he is, and if he's not, then I'm definitely in a lot of trouble in some of these drafts where I'm built teams reliant on him. All right, so maybe we do a Scatabo team, assuming Scatabo doesn't go ahead of us. Oh, we got Go Easy Cards in here. I missed that. He's at the 6-7. He took JSN and Nico, so I like that start. Getting slightly unique from what the rest of the field is. Doing at the turn there by foregoing Saquon. So we'll take Scatabo, and let's do Scatabo Henry. That's two solid running backs, and we'll find somewhere else to scroll. I cannot do that. I cannot take Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, and Cam Scatabo, turns out. I don't think I want Warren with Jonathan Taylor. You know what? Let's do it, actually. Excuse me. I'm going to take Tyler Warren with Jonathan Taylor. We're going to look at overstacking the Colts this week. So don't do too many overstacks in the main BR, but we're going to give that a whirl this time. I left Scatabo for you. Hey, thanks, Go Easy Cards. I appreciate you not taking Scatabo 10 picks ahead of ADP for me. But no, truly, thank you for not stream sniping there. I do appreciate it. But last draft of the day, it is nice to end up with what you want there. All right. I am very hopeful that on Monday I'm going to be better and not sick anymore. I am so tired of this. I'm so tired of this. All right. Joel says, my God, I've done the Colt stack accidentally, overstack accidentally this week. Don't hate it. I hope not, because we're about to do it. We're about to do it. But yeah, I don't think we're very scared of the Raider defense. I mean, I actually be terrified of Max Crosby. He's a big dude, but I think from a fantasy perspective, I'm not too concerned about them shutting down this pretty exciting Colts team. At home, in the dome. I think this could be. I think this could be a sneaky fun game. It may not even be sneaky. I mean, we may just be willing to admit that it's fun. I wish we had a healthy Brock Bowers in this, not a Brock Bowers who went LP DNP. That is really not good. So, maybe this team would be more fun if we had Genty instead of Scatabo. As it is, No, Jacoby Myers is free. Jacoby Myers is free. All right. Excuse me. My God. All right. Let's take Danny Dimes, and we'll just take Waddle. I mean, Waddle really could be kind of a slate breaky play this week. My instincts say that Waddle's not actually going to be as good as we're all hoping, but I'll give it a whirl. We'll do a Waddle share. In the ideal world, our last pick will be Jacoby Myers. I have not really seen him get taken too frequently. If somebody does take him, we'll take a different receiver, and it's fine. We don't need to bring back on the other side. So let's see what Go AZ Cards is up to. So he's got JSN, Nico Collins, and Derrick Henry, who I tried to take, but it doesn't let you take 3 running backs, and Justin Fields. So yeah, like the team over there, Go AZ Cards. Curious to see if your next one of your next picks is who I think it's going to be. Excuse me. Go AZ Cards. Myers, great shout out. I do need a flex. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, just remember, just remember where you heard that. Just remember where you're picking these things up. But no, we'll see if he ends up being good. All right, are you going to take Mason Taylor? Yes, I knew it. A Mason Taylor guy, a man after my own heart. Go AZ Cards finished his team with Montgomery and Mason Taylor. I like the team there. The Gale says, this is the week Josh Downs remind us why we drafted him in best ball. Yeah, he's going to start getting taken if Pittman sits. But yeah, he will definitely be Dawg Bowl friendly. Mike Robb says, I heard a morning bowl will craft along. My God, Mike Robb. At this point, I would try virtually anything. All right, we'll take Jacoby Myers. No, will we take Jacoby Myers? Yeah, we'll take Jacoby Myers. All right, we're gonna overstack the game. All right, so we got Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor, Cam Scatterbo, Jalen Waddle, Jacoby Myers, and Tyler Warren. So that will do it. Hopefully that game, there's 45 points aside, and they're all flowing through the Daniel Jones and then Jacoby Myers. But everyone, thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. I really appreciate it. Had a really fun week with you all. Can't wait to do this again with y'all on Monday. We'll go over the slates. Hopefully we'll have some winners. We'll have some good stuff. But regardless, hey, thanks again, everybody. I will see you all again. Don't forget to drop a like and a sub on the way out. Go AZ Card says, thank you, sir. 3 more for DBQ if you want to do one off stream. I'm probably going to log off for a little bit, but you will absolutely see me in the streets today and in some of the Dawg Bowl lobbies. But all right, thanks everyone. I'll see you all on Monday. Take care.